Du Plessis wants Adesanya. He understands he's got to get through Whitaker. That's a huge task. I did not think he could do it. Neither did the odds makers. He was a 3-1 underdog. You got a guy from the undercard that came up by being the squeaky wheel, who's now taking on the perennial #1 contender, the future Hall of Famer and the former world champion. 3-1 was right. And Du Plessis looked awesome. Not only did Du Plessis look like a #1 contender, that Du Plessis, that version of him that Robert Whitaker had to deal with, not only is the #1 contender, that was a top 5 middleweight of all time. Of all time. There ain't 5 guys in history that could have dealt with that guy. No way. High praise. I mean it. I mean it to be high praise. But then a face-off happened. And the moment the face-off happened, things changed. And there's a video of Du Plessis. As soon as he comes through the curtain in the back, they got a camera. He's got his gloves on. He's got his tape. He's covered in sweat. He hasn't even put a T-shirt on. They're talking to him. They're talking to him about Adesanya. Sports only go in one direction. Next. I watched Sports Center last night. They talked about football. They didn't talk about Joe Montana, who's better than all the guys playing today. Well, why is that? Because sports only go in one direction. What is next? So they asked Du Plessis about what's next, which was just set up for him, which was Adesanya, which is a very rare occurrence. He was put in a really great spot. And you want to know what he said? It was an honor being in the octagon with Robert Whitaker. I want to talk about Robert Whitaker and what a great year and career he had. This is what he said. That's polite. I'm not giving him a hard time, but I'm telling you what was, and as soon as I said, okay, things are changing here, we're losing him. We're losing him. He's slipping. Then he does calm down. He gets his check, gets his gloves off, gets that shirt on. He's dry. There's no more sweat. He's at the press conference. He starts getting asked questions, and he starts getting asked about Adesanya. He was put in a very unique position. We've had this happen, but we haven't had it. It hadn't happened 10 times in the last 10 years. Where a guy can fight that night, go to the press conference, and know what's next. He did. He was put in a very unique position. But he also started to talk about, I don't know if I can meet him in August. We got a couple of owies here we're dealing with. And I knew we were losing him. I knew he was slipping. I just also thought that they could put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I really did. I thought the money and the allure and the championship, whatever fear there is about going to that location or whatever fear that is about that monster that just came in the ring and showed you that he's ready. Whatever happened, we're going to be able to get through it. And I have seen guys go to the press conference before, and I have seen to them that I'm hurt. And it doesn't look like, here, let me just act it out for you. I'm at the press, I just had a fight, man. I just had a knockdown drag out. I come to the press conference, and I tell you I'm hurt. Guys, I'm hurt. I'm not feeling very good. I got to tell, man, I got to get home. I got to work on this. No, it would much more like this. Yeah, son of a bitch. I didn't even want to go in there. What they call it, a bursta? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I see my elbow. I got to get this worked out. I want to come talk to you guys. I'm headed straight to the doctor. You know, whatever's next, we're going to have to talk about it. I'm definitely doing the fight, but you're trying to lock me in on a date right now. I'm going to need just a minute. That's how that looks every time you've ever seen it happen. Prohaska gets hurt so bad that they take the belt off of him, and we get a full review about his shoulder. It turned out it wasn't accurate, but we get a full review. It's the worst injury we've ever seen. Jamal gets hurt 3 days ago, but we get a full review. Not only what happened, when and how. Plessis shows up to a press conference and says, I'm not, I got some owies. Well, what are they? Where are they? I just saw you use every single part of your body. I mean, I know it in your left hand, it looked great. I know what in your right hand, it looked great. I know what within your midsection because your core was strong as could be. You just did it. You literally, before you walked in here, did an interview and said how wonderful you felt. In fact, you went even further to say I could have gone all night. I was breathing through my nose. My mouth was shut. I've never felt better. That's a quote. I didn't just look these things up. By the way, guys, the team did not just hand me these things. I remember this from the night. Literally did an interview and said I had never felt better and then qualified it. Go back and watch, he says. I don't even breathe through my mouth. I breathe through my nose. My body does. Everything's wonderful. He said literally, and then walked into a press conference and said, I don't know if I can make the date. Gave no more detail. To this point in time, it's given no more detail. I don't make believe that he owes us an answer. By the way, I'm not suggesting for you that he put out an MRI or a CAT scan or have his doctor make a statement. I don't. I will take him at his word. But he never said. He never said my finger's broken. He never said my septum. He never said my it's what's wrong with him? What's the reason? And what changed? What changed from the victory and the interview with Joe Rogan? What changed after they faced off? What changed from when he walked in the back and was asked about Izzy and wouldn't speak about him, would only speak about Whitaker? What changed from when he said, I felt great, I only breathed out my nose? What changed in that 15 minutes it took him to walk to the press conference and tell the world, I will be there? They got a date, they got a location, and now they got me. What changed?